and away we blow.
Hello everybody, I am PaTricia Elise, and hey, what's up? I hope y'all are having a wonderful night. Are ya? Excellent. So, this time I want to revisit the topic of trans assault. Why? Because I feel that it is important. And I don't think that the last time I really did it justice, a couple of weeks ago when I did a video about this. I do feel that it is a serious topic, and I feel that it goes on more than people want to admit. Us trans women getting assaulted. Of course, assault is ugly, no matter how you spin it. Assault is ugly just in general. Nobody should be assaulted. What is with human beings? I don't know. I wish I did, but I don't. So really the best I can do is just witness it through video and shake my head and lose a little more faith in humanity. I feel that I am a little naive when it comes to the subject, just because I've never dealt with it, and hopefully never will. But I do know that it happens, and nothing I can say can replace the pain and anguish that these poor women must go through, so I apologize. And I hope that it gets better for you, if you're out there. So without much further ado, I'm going to watch another video that is about, I think, 5 women or something like that, that all have their stories of being assaulted. Trans women, and yeah, maybe I said trans women, I don't know what the hell I said. But yeah, I guess that's all I got. Oh, my new album is it's over halfway over, almost my new album is over halfway complete for anybody that gives a shit. Thank you. Happy listening. But yeah, it's going to really knock your socks off. So, having said that, let's watch a video.
I didn't deserve to be attacked, and I definitely don't deserve to be made to feel like it's my own fault.
I felt confused,
powerless, and helpless.
It was a little traumatizing.
I was 9 at the time. I had never understood how people were supposed to treat my body. While I was being violated, I was trying to understand how I was being violated. That was really complicated for me.
Out of nowhere, he was standing over me. He was pulling me down, pulling my pants down.
All of a sudden, the conversation switched. He started to kind of move forward toward me and became violent. After just talking to this man, his forearm is in my throat and I'm up against this storefront.
We only feel sorry for certain women. We only believe certain women.
For trans women and for femmes, because we're not seen in the binary, especially trans women, like a mockery of womanhood, people don't believe us, or our claims against sexual violence isn't legitimized.
The Me Too movement, it was a little bit disheartening, the fact that this was a woman's work for 8 years and there wasn't really any recognition of that, or even where it came from.
There's like a legacy of, black feminism that the Me Too movement is a continuation of, specifically Tarana Burke, and she's been really great at mentioning queer and trans people.
So to see privileged white women within Hollywood essentially co-opting that and turning it into a different narrative was a little difficult for me to see.
In the Me Too movement, a lot of black women or black femmes are angry is because it's like we have to shout from the top of our lungs, where a cis white woman can write an op-ed or just make a claim and the world burns.
The Me Too movement doesn't do a lot to include trans women, because there are a lot of situations where trans women are not just afraid of going out and reporting something bad happened to them sexually. You're also afraid of, the way that the cops will treat you when you're trans. I don't know a lot of women who have to deal with that.
There was just such judgment about how did you get in this situation? why were you sleeping with someone that you'd only just met? Like, I wasn't acting in a way that they deem womanly.
We're usually told that we're being very deceitful by being who we are, and it's destructive, you know? It doesn't make me feel like a person.
It's just victim blaming, and all women go up against that. But when you add the trans level, that's an intersection, and that means that I'm gonna then experience what cis women experience, but then with another layer.
There's cis, able-bodied white women out there who, what they're doing I think is amazing, but there are black trans women out there who are screaming Me Too from the ground that they've just been beaten up on. Some of them are screaming Me Too from the hospital that they're laying in, and some of them can't scream because they're dead. Realizing that the ability to campaign, the ability to march in the streets, the ability to scream out loud and tell your story is a privilege. With that privilege, you can tell your story, but you also can uplift stories.
In all of this conversation surrounding abuse and rape and sexual crimes, really, there hasn't really been any mention of the fact that trans women are being killed at a higher rate than ever before. We need to ask ourselves why that's the case and who's killing us and why are people killing us. It's lack of information, lack of understanding.
For lots of trans women, especially if they're women of color, there are lots of more barriers to walking down the street, avoiding street harassment, than just making sure that they're not wearing things that could be sexualized.
I don't feel like trans women are allowed to be sexually empowered without it being a thing. I feel like that's a cis privilege thing, that, you know, a woman can be sexual, she can be gorgeous, she can be attractive, and that just be her. But for a trans woman to do that, it feeds into a whole narrative of us being fetishized.
Having to defend my identity it's tiring, it's exhausting, it's like a never-ending fight. I think I have privilege sometimes with passing. I think people tend to kind of brush it off because they're not reading me as a woman, so they look at me as like, oh, you can handle yourself, or you're strong enough to do that, and I think that's where like the dangerous part is.
I don't think that people are ready to be for the nitty-gritty of like the daily lives of trans women's lives, which includes sexual violence at the hands of police officers, which includes murders.
I would love cis allies and straight allies especially to be making sure that the message is inclusive of queer people, of trans people, of everybody that doesn't really fit into the narrative that's going on at the moment.
If everyone realized that all of our battles individually are part of like a collective human experience, the things that trans women of color face are about white women too and are about white men too, and that if all of us are free, then it's a much better world, and if one of us is left behind, then that means that there's no real justice.
It's difficult to understand what everybody has been through, but it just takes listening. I don't think that anybody knows everything. We get things wrong, and there's no shame in getting things wrong, but it's where you go from there. It's how you listen to your sister. And if you're open to listening to what someone else has been through, then no one can fault you for that.
Okay, that was a little heartbreaking, a little depressing. Choose your depressing word, and that was it. But it was also kind of uplifting, in my opinion. We sisters do need to stick together. We trans sisters, all sisters. I mean, we're women too. Now, like I said, luckily I haven't had to deal with any abuse or any physical assault or anything like that yet. But I can imagine that it is awful. Just the assault itself, and then what you have to deal with afterward. So my heart goes out to all those girls. And knock on wood, rather suck on it. But yeah, hopefully I never have to deal with it. I've seen video after video here on YouTube with people putting up these stats like trans women get abused less than regular women. Okay, well, yeah, that may be so, but we're also, less than 0.0001% of the population? Einstein. With this administration in the White House and things the way they are, we are not going to get any help. We are on our own, sisters. So we must take care of ourselves and each other and look out for each other. I would say this includes cis women too, but most of them don't want nothing to do with us and don't consider us women, so, you know what? Whatever. I guess they aren't our sisters, but we are sisters. And, you know, not all cis women are like that. There's a lot of cis women that do accept us. And to those women, I just want to say that I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And you are my sister. So, anyways, guys, that's all I got for tonight. What they said was spot on, and a few of those women said some stuff that I could have never said as good. They are right. We do. I can imagine that it's very difficult being assaulted and then, you know, not being taken seriously by the cops, you know, the sex, not being taken seriously by society, people. It's just awful. Anyways, guys, that's it. That's all I got for tonight. I got another song I gotta finish working on so I can get this damn album done. But I guess I will see y'all in the next one. Let's take care of ourselves and be safe, sisters. I love you guys, and good night.